I made a video about a year and a half ago or so on setting up the AeroScout safe modes, and that video is still accurate. It's helped a lot of people, but I was using logical switches and special functions to set up the channel 5 and channel 6. But I've learned a few things since then, and while it's still valid and functional, it's a little more complicated than it really needs to be. So I wanted to make this quick video, because I also had some requests for this, on how I would do that now with a completely stock AeroScout. Now I'm not going to go through the whole setup to set up the whole plane. I've got an AeroScout model created here. It's got the standard stuff, you know, the AETR. Let's go into model setup. This is on my Radiomaster TX16S. And I go to the inputs. I've got my standard AETR. I just want to do this one as fast as possible, show you how I would set this up today, and a little bit differently from the way I did that previous one. Let me go back. We're going to the model setup. Navigate over. You've already got a basic model setup. Again, I'm not going to do the full setup. Go to your mixes. The default channels on an AeroScout for safe modes are channel 5 if you've got safe select. So when you bound, you need to enable safe select. The default channels, which you cannot change on a stock AeroScout, are channel 5 for safe modes. That switches you between safe, intermediate, and advanced. And the default channel for panic mode is channel 6. Those are stuck at that. Unless you unlock the receiver and then do a full factory reset, you cannot change those channels. So what we need to do is go to the mixes. I'm going to go down to add, the plus, and I need to make channel 5. So on channel 5, you can call this what we want. I'll call it, let's just name it. This is safe. So we'll call it safe mode. My source, I'm going to click that, and I'm going to throw, I like to use my SE switch, so I'm flipping my SE switch. I just flipped my SE switch, so it created that as the source. You can also just scroll to it. Leave that as is. That's all you got to do for that. I'm going to go back out. I'm going to make one more change, which you don't have to do. It's just my personal preference. I like when my SE switch is pushed away from me, I want that to be safe mode, and it's opposite that by default. So next time I'm going to go is go to my outputs, and I'm going to scroll down to channel 5. I'm going to edit that. See, now I'm in channel 5. So I'm going to go down here to invert it, and I'm going to click that. Now you see it flip-flopped my outputs. Now when I push the SE switch away from me, it gives it a value sending to the receiver at plus 100, which is safe mode. Okay? That's all I got to do for that. Now for panic mode, even if you don't want to use a panic mode, you need to program it, because if you don't, it'll be stuck in panic mode all the time. I don't use panic mode. If I'm in a panic situation, I'll just throw it into safe mode. So I will use a special function for that. Now ignore all these other special functions. I was playing around with a bunch of stuff. So find an available special function. Just push the plus sign here. SF11 is free in my case. You know, yours might be SF1. And all you're going to do is set the trigger to on, because you want it on all the time. Okay, so let's find there's on. And I'm going to override channel 6. So channel 6, and I want it to be a value of plus 100. The way you got to turn off or disable panic mode is to set it to a value of plus 100. If I don't do that, panic mode is going to be on all the time, and your control throws are going to be very minimal, and it'll be in self-leveling mode all the time, regardless of what safe mode you put it in. And then make sure you enable it. Now, if I go to my channel monitor, you can see channel 6 is on plus 100 all the time. Channel 5 is my safe mode. Right now I've got the switch towards me. Let me show you that. SE towards me. If I push it in the middle, push it away from me, now my channel 5 is at plus 100. Put it in the middle. Channel 5 is at 0. Pull it towards me. That's AS3X only. So in the middle is intermediate mode. You'll have bank limits, but you won't have auto leveling. Towards me gives it a minus 100 value on channel 5, and then that will be AS3X only. Now the sounds I've got in here, that's something different. I didn't want to get into that. I want to keep it quick and simple. You're going to set those up in special functions if you put the different sounds in there, but that's a different video. I've got a lot of videos on that kind of stuff. So That's how I would set it up today if I did that. I wouldn't use the logical switches like I did in the previous one. This is a quick and easy way to set up your safe modes. And also, reminder, make sure you bind with safe enabled. And I've said this before, but let me do another quick one. If I'm in my internal RF, do not turn on Enable Max Throw, and make sure that you bind with DSM-X, either 1F or 2F. Most of the time it's going to be DSM-X2F. If you set this for DSM-2, it is not going to work. And also down here where you got your channel range, make absolutely sure you've got channel range 1 to 12 enabled. It doesn't matter if you're using all 12 channels, just do not have it set for 1 to 16. It won't work. And if you have less than channels 1 to 12, you might not be able to use some additional channels that you might in the future. So just get in the habit of setting up all your Spektrum transmitters, AR631, the AS637 primarily, or AS630 at channels 1 to 12, and yeah, everything will work. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below.